All right.
КП ПО ходовому.
Есть.
По целям воздушным доложить.
Одна воздушная цель, вертолет по Берингу. Беринг 97, дистанция 60.
Есть. Сигнальщик по Берингу 97, цель воздушная, цель классифицировать цель.
Твой подпуск дежурного.
Учебная тревога.
Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, a great millstone, blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, brother, lift up the standard of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just another lesson through the spirit. World War III update between Russia and America. It says Russia faces off with NATO as Putin tests mystery nuke in hypersonic missile jet and bloc begins Black Sea war games. With that being said, that is the sign of war drums that is beating. We believe through the spirit that we're close. And like, you know, I always echo, as well as the elder brother Malcolm, he echoes as well that, you know, we're there, you know, we're there, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, so it's a lot going on. It says the mysterious ballistic missile took off from the plastic Commodore in the vast country's northwest, the TASS news agency reported early this morning. Going off into the article, well, not the article, but the video regarding these missiles and so forth being shot off, because as I was stating earlier, we believe that this World War III has already started, but it just haven't really fully manifested itself yet, because everything is done over a course of gradual. You know, like you have the form which is term called gradualism, and everything is done over a certain period of time. It says it cited an unnamed defense source. It says from within Kremlin, who claimed the top secret operation took place sometime in mid-June. It says report says that the ICBM named Qadar was developed in the Moscow Institute of Thermal Technology, which is abbreviated as MIT, and comes in both mobile and silo-based variants. Okay, so they can do airstrikes, drone strikes, and they can launch them shits out of silos. It says mobile systems enjoy several advantages as they are harder to locate, track, target, and destroy. It says MIT, which is part of the state space corporation, it said Roscosmos has already developed Russia's feared Topol M Yars and Bolivia ICBMs. It says the Qadar system is tipped to replace the Yars nuke and is said to be the latest milestone in the Kremlin's hopes for a modernized missile arsenal. It says today's launch announcement came as military tensions in the Black Sea reached boiling point, and it says here in Moscow vowed to sink Britain's warship if they sail too close to Crimea. Okay, so those are verbal war threats right there. And you know what, man? It's about time. All right, because, you know, we've been hearing tensions in the Middle East since forever, but we believe through this time, through the Spirit, that things are really going to turn up a notch, and that the Spirit is really going to allow this thing to kick off. Finally, you know what? Because it's time for the children of Israel to be delivered, man. You know, I was, you know, thinking about on a job. As a matter of fact, when I was at the job today, and you know, they was talking, the supervisor and one of the team leads was talking, you know, about me, whatever, man, and how basically how they want me to work events and shit like that, you know, even though they may be voluntarily. But I realized, like, they just want Jake to just work for the hell of it, you know, because really there's no really need for weekend work at this place. Like, seriously, it's really not. But they was like, well, you know, he could just do the trash, you know, we can put him on a moor, we could throw him on a moor. They just like they don't even consider that Jake may have a life outside of this shit. So back in my mind, I'm like, you know what, the Lord got to come back and get us, man, because, you know, you know what I'm saying, of course our lives and so forth is expendable to these devils, you know, but to us our lives ain't expendable, you know, unless it's through Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. But I'm like, fuck that, you know, I got a little life too. I ain't trying to be slaving for you, fuck y'all, you know what I'm saying. I'll do other shit before I sit up here and allow them to dictate and put me in a place where I'm not comfortable at. So, you know, I'm just like, all right, man, I see how they playing. But that's the reason why the Most High is getting ready to deliver us, and that's on a small scale. But it says, and it was reported the Russian fighter jet and bombers had constructed combat training flights in the Eastern Mediterranean. So once again, you know, they're doing war drills. You know, you're testing out certain bombs, and you basically, you know how they get in the ring, they call it a warm-up match. How, you know, you test each other's capability, you just test each other's limits. You know, you see, you know, the first round is the warm-up round. You know, you test the power of the opponent to see what's working with what. And by the first or second round, at the end, you can be like, oh, I can pretty much beat this guy. This guy ain't got nothing on me. You know, so it's kind of in that type mindset. But through the Spirit, man, when these nukes are shot off, and we believe and we know through the Spirit that these are going to be the Most High, He's going to allow these nukes to launch, okay, which is going to end in the destruction of the Western society. And it says here the MiG-31Ks were carrying deadly Dagger hypersonic missiles, one of Putin's new age weapons. So they're ready, but they have a range of 1,250 miles and have no match in the West, according to Moscow. So you ain't really, you're not ready, man. They're basically telling you that United States is not ready to take on this Russian bear. You know what I'm saying? They're not ready because America, they put all their money into offense, but they have no defense, because the scriptures even tell you that all the when the missiles are shot off, that they're going to enter the walls and thereof, and they should climb up on the walls and enter into the house of the ceiling, roughly paraphrasing it, which goes into America's it goes into what you call their defense systems. And from what they were saying over there in Russia, they were stating that, well, America can't stop their defense, meaning that they won't be able to fight off in a splurge of attacks if Russia was to send they top weapons over there. If they shot the top ICBMs, because they know that America's infrastructure, or they know that their defense mechanisms are really pretty much depleted. They're next to none, you know, because like I said, they put all their money in the air game and no defense strategy at all, while Russia is basically a balanced diet. Like he told him in Creed, he said, big, fast, strong, you dealing with a balanced breakfast over there, boy. He told him, you know. But America, they're completely unbalanced. Yeah, they got the technology. Yeah, they have some shit, you know, they got ICBMs, but they think they're just going to go over there and decimate because they're not banking on their allies turning against them. But if you have a barrage of attacks attacking you at one time, no matter how advanced your defense systems are, you're going to get ate alive because you're going to have so many people coming at you. And then on top of that, the Lord is really against you in this war. So, hey, if the Spirit is against you, who can be for you? Just like to say, if the Spirit is with you, or if the Lord is with you, who can be against us? At the end, meaning that at the end of the day, that no matter what the opposing forces do, the Lord is going to have our backs. But that's not the same for Babylon the Great, man. All right. It says here, Putin also deployed his 22 M3 long-range bomber. So he's basically flexing, man. He's flexing and saying, look, man, we'll fuck your shit up. They flexing, man. They not dealing. They ain't worried about you. You know, but it says during the drills, flight crews conducted electronic missile launches at a stimulated enemy. It says report in Russia's state media made it clear the exercises were specifically timed to coincide with the Royal Navy's Salakia. I'm on the road too, man. But it says with the Royal Navy's lost my place. Fuck. Yo, it says with the Royal Navy's deployment of a strike led by aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth. Give me a break. And that shows you that, you know, America and Britain, which, you know, they're part of the same head. Like it says, the eighth, he's even of the seventh. Going into the seven is Great Britain, but America's of that head, which is the eighth, which is Babylon, America. It said in the eighth should be head in derision. You see what I'm saying? So regardless, they're going to be partners. But like I said, man, something is going to happen that Babylon the Great is going to have his allies to shoot ICBMs on him, man. You see? And it's going to end unfavorably for you Edomites over here. Though all you Edomites are going down, you're going into slavery, all your societies are going to be destroyed and casted down. But overall, America, man, you're going to have the worst of the worst when it comes to this third world war, because, hey, the Lord is completely against you, you know. And it says here, in this regard, the objectives of the Russian exercise is to monitor the actions of the aircraft carrier group. So, you know, they got it on lock pretty much. But, you know, as we were saying, World War III is inevitable, man. Okay, and Yahweh Shai is the one that's going to muster the host of the battle, as it tells you in the scriptures, man. So let's get this precept real quick. Book of Isaiah 9 and 5. And it reads here. You gonna let me over or what? I guess. Hold on 1 second, brother. And it reads here. It says, for every battle, of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, because ancient world battles, you had them with sword and buckler. You know, when they say gird your loins up, when you took your garments, you basically covered your loins up. You rolled them in like a bow fashion, so therefore you don't lose your lower extremities in combat. You know, from a strike to the loins. All right, you may lose an arm, you may lose a leg, you may lose fingers. That's how the ancients fought. That's how we fought. Like if you look at the movie 300 and Gladiator and Spartans and so forth, even the battle of when we took down the Philistines. If you look at the type of buckler and shield we wore, that's how we fought wars in ancient times. But now, this battle is going to be fought with guns, military equipment, rockets, okay, B-5 bombers, etc., stealth fighters, ultimately chariots of the Most High, and overall the ICBM thermonuclear missiles. Okay, that's what's going to bring a pivotal end to Babylon the Great, thus says the Lord. All right, so let's go here to the book of Isaiah I think it's Isaiah 13. And I'm going to start at verses 15. It says, and they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. It says, even as the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the land. And we're reading about Putin. Putin, them are just puppets and faces that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua they're using to orchestrate this third world war. But overall, this is the Lord's program. Okay, it says from a far country. That far country represents over there in Russia, China. Okay, because you got to understand the war with Syria, the tensions are building up. Iran, because if America there invades Iran, you better believe that Russia is going to get involved with that. Okay, and they're going to defend them because according to the prophecy in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, it says, be thou a guard unto them and prepare for thyself. So you got to understand that you got NATO and the EU, which America is part of the NATO, not part of the EU, though they're pretty much in one conglomerate. Then you have the Eastern Bloc nations, man, which consist of Russia, China, Iran, the Eastern Bloc. Because basically the NATO was set up to combat the USSR during the time after the Cold War. So that's why they set up what they call the NATO nations, or the European Union, which NATO stands for National Atlantic Treaty Organization. They set up these nations to combat basically the USSR or the Soviet Union at that time. Okay, because they knew eventually there was going to be a war of mass destruction. So it says, howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they should be afraid, and pangs and sorrow should take hold of them, and they should be in pain as a woman that travaileth, and they should be amazed at one another, and their faces should be as flames, right? Because when those missiles are shot off, there's nowhere you can run, there's nowhere you can hide, but yet there's going to be utter destruction. Like we always use the example of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. We call it the Sarah Connor Judgment, when the Flash came and all of a sudden the missiles or whatever strike that was, basically it was Armageddon, what they would consider the end, which Armageddon just go into mountain of troops, Armageddon, which means mountain of troops, which will be fought in the Middle East, just means mountain of troops, okay, which is interchangeable with World War III. But we call it the Sarah Connor Judgment. Basically, when the missiles or the strike hit, you saw the flash, okay, then the wind, then the fire came. But it was so powerful to the point it melted her, and her skeletal structure was still hanging on a damn gate. You see what I'm saying? And that's a reverence as to how America is going to go out, because you know what? I believe James Cameron directed that movie, and he stated that he had a vision or a dream about that. In a vision, and the Spirit had him to put it in his movies. So you got to understand that the Lord, when he be dealing with these producers and writers and so forth in Hollywood, he give them revelations on the left hand side, and this is the reason why you see certain things in their movies, man. Like the movie called The Knowing with Nicolas Cage. They showed you the chariots, how the kids got delivered at the end, and prior to the destroying Babylon the Great. So these writers and so forth and producers, they know what's up, because hey, they study the scriptures, man. The Most High, he comes to them and he shows them, like, look, you're gonna put this in your movie, you're gonna put that, and it's gonna be used for a lot of time for my prophets to reverence. Because on the sign, we got that when Sarah Connor, when she's basically getting ate up by them missiles, man. And it's all because of what you've done to the Hebrew Israelites, man. The Lord's chosen, and it says here, behold, the Lord cometh, cruel with both wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. What land is it talking about? Babylon the Great. It says here, and to destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And it says here, for the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof should not give the light, and the sun should be darkened in his going forth, and the moon should not cause the light to shine, which goes into your wisdom and understanding, but manifold going into the fact that you're not going to see the heavenly host, because you're going to have those thick, and the mushroom clouds, that thick soup blocking out the sun and the moon and the stars. Okay? And it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and lay low the terribleness of the haughty. So, because the people in America are proud as hell, man. They don't believe that this country is going to be in derision. Here they're talking about getting back to normal, but yet they're imposing more draconian lockdowns. What kind of nonsense is that? here you want to get back to normal, but yet you're putting more hell on the people. Like out there in California, I believe the order went out June 15th that anybody that don't get V'd up, they're going to make it worse for the people that got V'd up, and everybody going to have to wear masks because the people that's quote-unquote un-V, you know, which is creating a complete division in Babylon amongst the people that's V and un-V because they want chaos, you know, because these people are too stupid to do researches to know what gene hormone therapy is and etc. They don't really research what's really going on, but instead they believe what some fear-mongering sorcerers telling them in a three-piece suit. They're not going to go up and look up the facts for themselves because they don't want to be found to be ignorant willfully. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, you know, they just result to the worst case scenario. Oh, well, you know, you're making my life harsh. I can't go to the barbecue because you don't want to get V'd up. When the people that's not V'd is not the fucking problem. It's the people that is V'd. You're the carrier of the shit, not the people that ain't get touched. You know, but you people, you don't think of it that way because you've been lied to. And you've willingly accepted the lies here in Babylon. You've accepted it, and you've learned to incorporate them in your daily lives. This is why the Most High is going to destroy you off the face of this earth, man. And I can't wait till you do so, because you people are basically, you're used goods. You're basically taking up good space. You're making it harder for the people that want to sustain a probable living, man. You know, and not a probable living here in America. I'm talking about just, you know, through the spirit, getting the kingdom. Because I want to get the kingdom, man. I'm sick of this place. This place has done nothing but cause us hell, caused me hell and pain and suffering, as well as other brothers, man. You know? So we're ready for it to end. All right. So now I can concentrate a little better. I stopped. So in the reads here, matter of fact, let's go down a little bit. And it says here, verses 16, it says, and their children also should be dashed to pieces before their eyes. And their houses should be spoiled and the wise ravished. But behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which should not regard silver. And as for gold, they should not delight in it. And their bows, which goes into the missiles, also shall dash the young men to pieces. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. And their eyes should not spare children. Okay? So those missiles are not going to discriminate. They're not going to say, oh, well, this is a 3-year-old baby. Let me go ahead and deviate and miss it. No. The missiles are going to rain fire down on Babylon the Great, and it's going to prove it. It says, and their bows shall also dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, and their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, and the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, which the Chaldees are basically your sorcerers and modern-day elites, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know how that was destroyed, through fire and brimstone from the heavens. Lord could have sent the chariots to destroy that place. And it says, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their folds there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and the satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in the desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces, and our time is near to come, and her days should not be prolonged. So basically, it's going to be a bunch of what do you call those desert creatures that's going to be here in America, man. Okay? A bunch of desert creatures. Like I said, satyrs and so forth, etc. Komodo dragons, you know, cockroaches. Cockroaches can survive any goddamn thing. But this is the book of Jeremiah 50, and I'm going to start at verses 22. It says, a sound of battle was in the land and of great destruction. And this is what this article is going into. This is a war and rumors of wars. Okay, this is a sound of war. Because look at these. This says some of the military hardware on display. Crews conducted electronic missile launches that stimulate the enemy. Russian warships also deployed. Russian fighter jets and bombers conducted training flights. Why you think they getting prepared, man? And it's for all you clowns out there that say ICBMs don't exist. What the hell you think this is? Well, that's a Kedar missile, but matter of fact, look at this. This is an ICBM right there. Them shits exist. That's not fake. All right, and it says, and how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right, that's a question because once again, this was a prominent power. World War II, hey, everybody was scared to come up against Babylon the Great. But now everybody's threatened. And it says here, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou was also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, and thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. And how did you strive against him? By first and foremost enslaving the people of the Lord, and also changing the laws and ordinance thereof, making it impossible to them to keep the law perfect. It says, the Lord have opened his armory, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, God of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, America. Come against her for the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly, and let nothing of her be left. So the Most High sanctioned a complete and utter destruction of the West. Okay, which America is going to be the primary recipient of that judgment. One more precept here, and I'm going to shut it down. The point is being made. It's lucky I was kind of all over the place and trying to drive too, but you brothers get the point. This is the book of Joel. The book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. And I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, and let all the men of war draw near, and let them come up. All right. You see Russia, they flexing their muscles now. Now, what you going to do, Babylon? You going to flex back, or you going to let them get away with it? It says, and beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. And assemble yourselves, and come, all ye heathen, to gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So, hey, man, this war any day now, any day. But before that, the RFID chip must be implemented. Before this thing goes global and nuclear, the RFID chip, which is the MOB, has to be incorporated in the world first, mainly here in America. And with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a ball.